Hi guys, I'm going to make a quick video here about circles. There's just one more piece of the puzzle we have to talk about in regards to area, circumference, diameter, and radius. A couple things you have to remember is that just the kind of setup of a circle, the inside is the area, circumference is all the way around, right, the distance around, radius is halfway through, diameter is all the way through. So, just to give you an idea of what we're doing, after you watch this video, you'll have an assignment. It's posted on Schoology. So go ahead and complete that, and then after that, you can work on your study island from yesterday. If this video clears some stuff up that you still have questions on, or if you don't have anything else to do, you can work on activity assignments. All right, so let's go and get started. All right, so let's talk about exact answers. So exact answers, remember, are like if I find that the circumference of this circle is equal to 4 times pi. Rounded answers would actually mean that I go ahead and type that in. I type 4 times pi into my calculator and I find out what that is, right? But rounded answers will just be left like this, right? Sometimes you would hear exact answers called in terms of pi, because it has the number pi in it, right? So it's called also in terms of pi. So what we're going to be talking about today deals a lot with exact answers. Basically, I have 4 things. If you think back to the first slide, I have 4 things that I can find about circles. I have the diameter that I can find. I have the radius. I have the circumference, and I have the area. So what we're going to talk about today is how, when you're given any one of those pieces of information, you can find everything else. So if I'm given the circumference as 4 pi, then I can find anything else. So let's just go with this example right here, that the circumference is equal to 4 pi, and from that I want to find the radius, the diameter, and the area. So I know that I have the circumference already, right? Oops, that's done. But I want to find the diameter, the radius, and the area, just from the circumference equal to 4 pi. Okay, so basically it's not really very difficult. Let me just show you what to do here. I'm going to take what I know. I know that circumference is equal to 4 pi. And I know that also circumference is equal to pi times the diameter, right? So, really simply, if I know that circumference is equal to pi times the diameter, and the circumference is equal to 4 pi, then I can set these two things equal to each other, right? 4 pi is equal to diameter times pi, or pi times the diameter. And if you look at what we got right now, obviously, if you look at this equation right here, obviously I can tell that my diameter is equal to 4. Right, I'm taking 4 times pi, and I'm taking the diameter times pi, and they're going to be equal. So I know the diameter has to be equal to 4, right? So, there's a piece of information. Diameter is equal to 4. I know that if the diameter is equal to 4, then the radius is equal to 2, right? And from there I can find the area. So, if I want to find the area, all that I have to do is just use my formula. Area is equal to pi times the radius squared. So area is equal to pi times 2 squared, which is my radius. So that would be 4. So my area then is equal to 4 pi. There you go. There's your exact answer. Alright, let's do a couple more. Here's another example. All that I'm given about this circle is that the area is equal to 16 pi. 16 pi is the area. So from that I can find everything else, right? So I know that area is equal to 16 pi. I also know that area is equal to pi times the radius squared, right? So if I set these two equal to each other, I have 16 pi is equal to radius squared times pi. And if you look at what we have, I know just by looking at this that 16 is going to be equal to the radius squared. Right? 16 is going to be equal to the radius squared. So I know that the radius then is equal to the square root of 16. So I know the radius is 4. And from that I can find the diameter, right? The diameter would be double that, which would be 8. And then circumference is pi times the diameter, so it would be 8 pi for the circumference. Easy stuff, right? Alright, I want to show you one more where it may not be so obvious what the radius or the circumference is, or the diameter is, for given a circumference or whatever. But it's not too bad. So let me just show you one more example, and then I'll set you loose on your work for today. Alright, so here's another one. The last one that we're going to do in this video all that I'm given is that the circumference is equal to 18.85. Now, this is not an exact answer. This is a rounded answer, right? So let me show you how to do this. It's not really much different, but you just have to do one more extra thing. So I know the circumference is equal to 18.85. What else do I know? I know that the circumference is also equal to the pi times the diameter. So if I want to go ahead and take this, what circumference is equal to, and plug it in for C, what circumference is equal to, then I can find out what the diameter is. So I know the circumference is equal to 18.85, which is equal to pi times the diameter. So now what you have is you just have a t-chart. I'm going to box the diameter, I'm going to divide by pi, both sides, and if you do that, you would get about 6. Now keep in mind it's not going to be an exact number 6 when you type that in your calculator, but remember this is a rounded answer. This 18.85 is a rounded answer for circumference, so you're not going to get an exact answer anyways. So let's call the diameter 6. If the diameter is 6, then the radius is 3, and then the area would be pi times the radius squared, which would be 9 pi. And if you type that in your calculator, 9 times pi, then that would be about equal to about 28.27. So let's just do a quick review. So no matter what part of the circle you're given, whether it's the area, the circumference, the radius, or the diameter, you need to know that you can find everything else from that information, right? So if I'm given the area, I can find the radius. If I'm given the circumference, I can find the diameter, and if I have the diameter or the radius, then I can find anything else. All right, so we will regroup on Monday. Go ahead. I think you have an assignment posted on Schoology on Edulastic, and just follow the link that's on Schoology to that site, and go ahead and do that. And we will regroup on Monday. So I will see you on Monday. All right, thanks, guys. Bye.